In this example, we are going to learn how to solve a cubic equation. Okay, so solving a cubic equation is just one more step than the factorizing of a cubic equation. So in the previous example, you already see the steps of factorizing a cubic equation. So it's one more step, the equal to 0, and you'll be able to solve for x. Okay, so let's try to repeat the step. So as mentioned in example 1, you will use the last number. Okay, so you will use the last number to try the factor. So the last number here is 1 times 7. So the x that you will be trying will be x equal to 1, minus 1, 7, and minus 7. Okay, so you try it on these four numbers on fx. Okay, so for this question, if you try, okay, you can pause the video to be trying. You can try f1, you can try f minus 1, you try f7, you try f minus 7. Okay, because the last number here is a prime number, so you got very limited choice to try. So if you have tried all the possible factors of the last number and it doesn't work, you got to use the first number here. You got to use the coefficient here to try fraction. So now that if you try all the four possible whole number and it doesn't work, you got to use the coefficient of x cubed to try fraction or decimal. So if you look at the coefficient is 2, so the factors will be 1 times 2. So you do a reciprocal of the factor. You try the reciprocal of factor. So if you reciprocal 1, you are still getting a 1. But if you reciprocal 2, you will get a 2. You will get a half. 2 over 1, if you reciprocal, you will get a half. So in fact, you got more numbers you can try, but these are not the whole number. These are fraction. So you can be trying half, or you can be trying minus half. So if all the whole number fail, and you need to be trying fraction, you got to try fraction based on the coefficient of x cubed. Okay, you do the factors, but you do a reciprocal. Okay, so in this case, if you try either f half or f minus half, you realize that this will give you a 0. So when you get a half, x equal to half, that give you a 0, you can have two possible conclusions. X minus half is a factor, or 2x minus 1 is a factor. So if you let the factor equal to 0, you will still get the half. So actually both are okay. But which one will I choose? I will be choosing 2x minus 1. Because in my next step, I'm going to be doing a long division. So I don't want to be doing a long division with x minus half. There is a fraction. So I'm going to avoid my long division with a fraction. So I rather do a long division with a whole number. So I will be choosing the 2x minus 1 as a factor to do the long division. So do your long division as per normal. Okay, so you should be expecting, I wrote something wrongly. It should be a 7. So at the end of your long division, you should get a remainder 0. So from here, your fx is kind of completed. So you kind of factorize out your fx into this and the quotient. So you can go for the next step of solving. Okay, you can go for the next step of solving. If you maybe you will want to try factorizing this, but if you can't factorize this, not to worry, because we are going for the solving. So you can, as long as you've got two brackets, you can go ahead with the solving. So you will be getting something like first bracket equal to 0, and you will get the second bracket equal to 0. So in the second bracket, which is a quadratic function, if you couldn't be factorizing it, then that's fine. You do your quadratic formula. So you can do your quadratic formula, perform your quadratic formula, and you should be able to end off with the 2dp answer. So the solving is have an additional step. You got to set them equal to 0. So if you happen to be able to factorize that cubic function, the quadratic function, then you will have three nice brackets. So when you got three brackets equal to 0, very simple. First bracket equals 0, second bracket equals 0, third bracket equals 0. So you still end up having 3 answers. Okay, will you always get 3 answers right? You may not. Sometimes you may end up only with 1 answer. Because if let's say you try to solve the quadratic and the quadratic leads you to no answer, then too bad, you just don't have 3 answers. So there are even sometimes series questions which ask you to show that there's only 1 answer. So you just go for the solving and you realize that you end up with only 1 answer. So compare the difference between this and example 1. Example 1 is factorizing. The steps are almost the same, except that you stop at the factorized part. For the solving, you go for one more step. You got to equal to 0, make the whole function equal to 0, and you solve for x accordingly. Okay, and in this example, I also show you how will you choose fraction to find a factors. Okay, because a lot of time, if you can't find a factors, you cannot continue with long division. The whole question kind of get you stuck already. And you may end up spending a lot of time during exam just to find the factors. So if whole number doesn't work, you look at the coefficient here to find a fraction that you can be trying.